Hello again, Glenn with Wogscapes. Progress update on the force table. The blank boards are ready and the brackets are completed. So one of the features here I want to show you, one of the details, the bottom of the board, you can see that has a notch in it. Right, here's the wall template. And it has a bracket. Right. So, this can now be mounted on the wall, and these slot inside the silly, right? So that goes into the little notch at the bottom that sits there. That's going to have a little latch that goes on top and locks it in place. The bottom is locked, the top is locked. Now it's away, right? The other thing is that little notch is right in the middle, so you could potentially mount it or hang it up on the wall this way as well, so that your terrain piece is actually facing out and you can look at it like a piece of artwork, right? Right. The other nice thing is if you can get this mounted in a way that you can get it off the wall again, it's transportable. Again, right? Your terrain is on this side, it's in there, like that. Now this whole thing can get thrown into your car, or truck, or whatever, and you can move it from place to place. So that's it. Blank canvas. And the next step is, now I gotta make it. I need to figure out what I'm doing. So like I said, of course, it's a forest table, so the trees and the bigger pieces are going to be modular, right? They're going to be on smaller tiles. They can get put on or get put away. That means you can move them around. You can have a different style of game every time. So the board is just going to be kind of like forest floor. You could leave it bare and just have plains, right? Rocky plains. Or forest floor, whatever. So I'm working on my flocking right now. You can't see that. That's better. So I'm working on my flocking technique right now, and this was not even a sample board, just a little study I did with some exposed bedrock, right? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different kinds of flocking on there. So this has a combination of good old Italian herb mix on brown paint, like that. And then it's got weeds fine flocking, green mix flocking, burnt grass flocking, and then a little bit of small clump foliage as well put on there. And I'm pretty happy with the way this is going. So now I'm working on the For Realsies sample board, which will include a river, some bits of rocks in there. Right, the river is going to be done in resin. And I've seen on YouTube this stuff here, right? People making the ripples and the waves in the river using watered down Mod Podge. I've never done it before. I've always used the Woodland Scenics water effects, and I'm okay with how that's turned out, but I'm not 100% happy. It's pretty expensive. I want to try this Mod Podge and see if it works better. So that's going to be part of the experiment with the sample board. Before I even go there, I've got a little piece of plastic. I'm going to throw some of this Mod Podge on there and see how it works. The two techniques I want to try with that are just using a brush and stippling it on, or watering it down a little bit, putting it on with a brush, and then hitting it with a air hose. And that's so far my favorite looking, but again, I want to try it out before I go ahead. So we're going to do a little study before doing a sample, before doing a real board, right? Alright, so here we go here. This is the, I can't tip it too far, obviously. Mod Podge, gloss, yeah. And first I'm just going to try stippling this on. Here, where's the garbage can? Here we go. Let's go over here. That might even be too thick. I could probably go thinner than that. Maybe I'll do thick over here and I'll thin it out as I go over here. Yeah. Science. Science in my definition is doing random crap and seeing what happens. That's real science. That's how it should be done, right? There we go. Okay, next I'm going to thin this out. I have no idea how much, because I've never done it before. Alright, I know you can't see it. I've just got a tiny little bit of water and some of the podge in there. It's already pretty fluid. Didn't really need much water, but whatever. We'll try it anyways here. So I'm going to try and get it on here pretty thick, I guess. And so I got some room to push it around. There we go. Yeah, I don't think that needed to be thinned. I'm just going to go and put some straight up. Back in there. There we go. Do. Okay, let's go outside and go hit it with the air compressor. Okay, so I'm using my air compressor and schnozzle here. And Yoda would tell us to pass on our strengths. Oh, that's gonna fly away, isn't it? Wait, hold it, wait, pause. There we go, smart. Ha 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 ha. I didn't blow it off the table. Yoda would tell us to pass on our strengths, right, and our wisdom, but also our failures. And I don't know which one this is going to be. It might be a failure. So let's see what happens here. Oh, I like that. It looks good. I don't know if it's going to dry like that, but... Ah, too much. Sorry, I'm trying to do this and hold my phone at the same time. So if I'm all of a sudden like doop 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 doop, that's why. Here we go. Careful. Careful. Alright, so that's the wet, right? But it's kind of... I'm hitting it and it's looking good, but then it's just kind of blowing, or it's just kind of like the surface tension is just pulling it back. Right? So let's try the non-watered down. Careful. Stuff's already drying. Dries fast. No! Ah, see? It's already starting to dry. That was too slow. That's why we did a test. Yep, it was the second one. Yoda, this was the second one. Not a success. That's okay. Still really like what it's doing here. Just blasting some air across it, try and dry it out here. I don't know, is that done? See, there's sections right here where like the air caught it and just like ripped a piece up. That might still look good. That might like make a really cool looking wave, right? I don't know. Okay, well, I'm gonna let that dry, and I don't know, we'll see. So here's the Mod Podge test. Here's where I used the water, and I got a ton of little bubbles in there. I think I mixed it too aggressively, and even though I like the shape that it made, it's full of bubbles. That's not good. But I don't mind the shape of this either, where I did not use water. Here it was a little bit too thick, right? That's where I had problems. There we go. But just right over here. I like the look of that, where it was basically just stippled, and I think next time I'm going to use a little bit of, or use a straw to blow that around. The air compressor and the hose was too strong. An airbrush would work. I don't have one, so there. So lessons learned. Number 1, this stuff dries fast. Number 2, air compressor, too much air. Number 3, I like just the straight up. I don't like the water. Maybe just less water. Is that it? Are those all the lessons? Is that everything? You can see it out there as well. That looks good. It's very clear. It's very shiny. That's another thing I was looking for. Yeah. Well, the sample board is painted up now, and I have no idea how I got here. There was so much back and forth on this. I started with a gray primer, and then I started bringing some of these browns into here, and then I did a black wash over some of the rocky areas to get some of the shadows in there, but then I thought it was a little too dark, so I went back with the gray again over top of the rocky areas, and then what? Then what happened? Then I started on the river. So the videos I've seen on this, no blue in here at all. This is just black. This is the same medium gray that was in the rocks, and I'm trying to get a soft gradation there without using an airbrush, just using a wet paint technique, right? You get some black on, some gray on, and a little bit of water, and you just start pushing it back and forth until it blends. And I don't mind that it's a little, like it's not perfect, right? Nope, too close. Yeah, that's better, right? That you can see some brush strokes in there. I don't mind that. That's okay. I think. We'll find out. Focus. Do it. This part I'm going to leave kind of gravelly like that, so that when I pour the resin into here, you can see through to this section, right? So the river is curving down around this way, and it's moving faster on this section here on the outside of the turn, and it's going to start eroding this, and it moves slower on the inside of a turn, meaning any sediment that's in the water, that the water's carrying, is going to settle here as it slows down. So you get these little sandy beach areas right on the insides of curves on the rivers. So I'm going to bring the resin above this, but leave this a little more shallow so you can see through the resin to this stuff here. After that, it was highlights using this gray here. I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of a yellowy gray color. And then the last highlight was this that I use for sand. It's kind of a cream color. So I'm going from, on the rocks, black to a medium gray to this yellowy gray to cream. So it's getting warmer as the colors are coming up. And the brown areas are just brown. Right, so I'm ready now to flock. Right, once again, this is where I'm aiming for here. Different layers of flock, and then I can pour the resin. See how that goes. So I'm going to go over those colors again when I'm working on the actual finished product, right? That sample board is so experimental that I have no idea how I got there. Again, it was so back and forth with so many colors, and there was no time to turn on the camera. So yeah, so again, we'll go over them again when I do the final board, and I'll point them out and show you what I'm doing more better. Thanks for watching.